Hello world! You are listening to The Passion Show with Wizard on CFRU 93.3 FM. It's a do-it-together radio show all about passion and the people who have it. I'm Wizard.
And I'm Annie!
Annie, yeah! We got Annie in the studio!
Woo, 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 woo.
Annie. What are you doing here?
Honestly, I was invited and I don't entirely know, but I have words that I could always share with the world, and I'm grateful to be here.
That's what radio is all about. Just sharing words with the world. Saying what you need to say.
And no one will ever pretty much know my face, just my words.
Just your words. That's the format. That's how it works.
I'm stoked.
I wish people could see my face when I was doing this radio show. See me smiling and laughing and all.
You know what, Wizard?
What?
I think the fact that you have a hat that technically is part of the Wizard show,
That's true.
the magic's there. Like, I think people can picture what you are looking like right now.
That's true. They can close their eyes and picture a wizard, and that's basically what they'll get.
Yep.
I actually have 2 wizard hats now.
Do you really?
I have a wizard hat, like a hat that a wizard might wear, but then I have a wizard hat, a hat that says the word wizard on it.
Did you make it?
No, I was given it as a gift from our mutual friend, Matt Isles.
Oh,
Isn't that hilarious?
That's the best.
He dropped it off at my home. What a legend.
That's so sweet.
What a kind-hearted fellow.
It's the best.
And he loves birds. He should be on this show someday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I vouch for that.
But
110%.
that's a tomorrow problem. Today, you're here. How do we know each other?
Wizard, we've crossed paths in the forest.
We cross paths in the forest.
Uh-huh.
That makes you just right in line with 100%, 90% of my guests so far. I've had one guest who wasn't a GOS person.
Where'd they come from?
From Kincardine, Ontario.
Oh, sweet.
It's Brandon McIntosh, singer of Czech Hotel from London, Ontario. My one of my oldest friends.
So Kincardine, for me, I've visited it once, and I was in a forest there. I don't remember where, just doing the whole nature, like, fun times.
That's great.
And my memory of Kincardine and the forest that don't remember which one was, I found a kinglet, a ruby, oh shoot.
A ruby kinglet.
The red-crowned kinglet?
Red-crowned ruby kinglet.
They were stuck in the burrs of the plant.
Oh.
And I have that memory.
What is a red-crowned ruby kinglet? What is that?
Oh, geez, I'm even, like, mixing up the kind. But it's the one with the red on their top.
Is this a bird we're talking
They are. They are.
Okay.
They are absolutely a bird. They are small, almost as small as, like, I would say on the range of between closer to the size of a hummingbird. So on the smaller side of birds. And they're super cute, super sweet. There's the yellow crowned one and then the red crown. So I'm remembering red.
So many crowns.
And they just, like, I have such memories of them just, like, when it's the season, for them to just come in, like, numbers, like little chirps everywhere
Aww.
in the forest. But yeah, that's the way I remember Kincardine.
That's amazing. I have so many memories of Kincardine because that is where I went to high school. I wish I had just a distilled memory of it like you do.
So you lived there?
I lived there, yeah. I moved there when I was in grade 6. I moved from Saskatchewan. And I went to high school there and went to grade 7 and grade 8 there as well. But I went to a little school called Ripley outside of town. Tiny little school. Weird place. But yeah, I went to high school in Kincardine.
No
and I
way.
still talk to a lot of the people I was friends with there, which I'm lucky for. I had a very sweet little community.
For just two years.
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, grade 6 to grade 8?
Grade 6 to grade 12.
Oh, I see.
High school, all that.
Significant years.
Significant years indeed.
Yeah.
And I was happy to have spent them in Kincardine.
That's amazing.
Because it's we got to go jump in the lake. We would bike down to a restaurant that some of you might know called the Erie Bell. And they had very good fish and chips. We would get the fish and chips and we would bike down to the what's it called? The pier. We'd go out on the pier, and these days you are not allowed to go on the pier. They do not like it. Too many people have perished
Oh no.
in the raging Lake Huron, and the beach there is very intense. They got famously, people surf in Kincardine.
Oh, sweet.
Isn't that wild? Because the waves there are big.
Wow. Yeah, because I know that, I feel a little bit behind on the surfing world, but I do recall a few years ago talking to friends saying that surfing is like, folks were trying to bring surfing here to Ontario because there are places to go surfing.
Like Kincardine.
There we go. The dots are connected.
The dots are connecting. There's a surf shop in Kincardine. They have competitions.
No way.
My friends and I were never part of that.
Huh.
But it's a thing there, which is funny because it's such a hockey town, and then in the summer it's a surf town. Not a lot of towns like that.
No, it's pretty sweet that you could go use the lake water for surfing.
Yeah, right?
It's pretty awesome.
We just use it for jumping in off the pier. That's all we used it for. And occasionally we'd park near the beach at night and watch the waves and watch the little blinky light out there and get spooked. We would sit. Normally I don't tell this many anecdotes, but this is a funny one. We would sit, there was a parking spot where you could look right out onto the water at the pier, and there's a little blinking light on the pier, and we'd go at midnight, and it'd be me and a couple of my friends. And at some point I would always say, hey guys, what if someone just walked out of the water right now and they're fully dressed and they have a top hat? They look like in one of those old Victorian people, and they have a top hat, and they just walk out of the water and they start walking towards us. What would you guys think about that? Would that be good for you? Would you like that? Then they didn't like me talking about that. They did not think that was funny. They thought it was spooky.
It is spooky.
But I thought it was funny. And I'd say, what if there's a whole family? What if they got a kid? And they're coming out.
Jeez.
They're coming out of the water. They're just walking right out of the water. We didn't see them go in. They've got all their clothes on.
Would they be soaked, or they're just kind of...
Oh, yeah, they'd be soaked. Of course, they're coming out of the lake. And, yeah. So I have that vivid image in my head.
I can picture it right now.
It's a little bit spooky. If you were there, it's more spooky.
Well, if there are waves and you're just saying that...
there is a non-zero possibility that someone is listening to this radio show in their car at the beach at night right now. This is airing in late October. At 9 p.m. it's going to be dark. It's going to be dark by then.
Listen, if someone is actually in this situation, as described by Wizard, please call him directly.
Call my number.
Call him directly. Tell him, because the chances of it, according to him, are really, really slim.
No, this happens all the time. This happened to my buddy Rob. This happened for real, yeah. That's how I know about this. Yeah, they got him.
Rob.
He's gone now. Sorry, Rob. Yeah. Rob, if you're listening... No, wait. No, Rob can't be listening to this because he's gone now. They got him.
And Wizard is, as we know, part of his magic is it gets dark and scary and gloomy in his imagination.
No, then we just take it right back. Then we just take it right back into Glee.
Yay!
Into charming, happy town. So, speaking of charming, happy town, Annie, what are you passionate about? That's what I want to know. That's the big question I am always asking on this show. What are you passionate about?
Oh, boy. I am passionate about carving wood.
Carving wood.
I really love that. I really love it. And turning it into an art form,
okay.
Getting to know wood that way, like trees, spending time outside. And I find in my past few years, I've really been in the passion area of mushroom cultivation and tending to spaces and wood and carving. I know that's a lot.
No, but I can sort of picture that as one thing in my head. You're like a carving connoisseur and a natural curator of trees and mushrooms and spaces.
Mm-hmm. I think they're all they're all interconnected.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways to approach. Being outside in nature, for me at least, this is the stream in which like wood is food for mushrooms in different stages of their life cycle as a tree. And of course, mushrooms do grow from the soil too. It depends on their substrate. And like in so
Different
many
mushrooms,
ways.
different substrates.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And substrate as in like the food they need, like the roots of the mushroom, the mycelium. What does that need to grow and expand? And then when they're ready, they just like fruit into the mushroom and spread their spores again. So it's like this beautiful cycle of like almost invisible world and visible world. And I think that like is, to me, what I really like is putting that into art form. So I think that like what I get to be a part of is a reflection of myself in the outer world, and like the same for others. And I'm so grateful that I get to spend time around watching trees grow or asking questions about mushrooms or getting excited about it. Like I'm passionate because I get excited. And when I get excited, this like playful side of mine comes up. And this playful side is just like a piece that really just overall increases my curiosity, increases my desire to be present with more awareness and just dive deeper. So it's just, and like that brings out my artistic creative side, which I think when we do that, new avenues open up. Like humans get to do this like amazing thing in like innovation. And innovation is, we talk about it, but how does one tap into innovation, and what does that really mean? And for me, it's like when I get to watch a tree, suddenly a part of them like breaks off, and I'm like, whoa, like this is now a way I can repurpose this piece. And I suddenly start carving away because I was curious enough. I was taught by a few folks like, hey, when you use a knife, this is how you can carve it into a spoon. And I'm like, I really think something's really cool about carving spoons.
Yeah, we have a lot of spoon carvers around us.
Probably we're going to have even more at this rate.
We're going to inspire. Hopefully, I think we would be absolutely blessed if this radio show were to inspire someone to carve spoons.
Please.
If they're listening deeply and thinking about the medium of wood and the art of carving, and they are inspired to carve a spoon.
And it's so simple. Simple as in like that you don't need that many tools.
No.
It's such a good mindful practice, like art form. I don't know, again, like getting into using your hands.
Three tools basically, or even less, but like a hatchet, a knife, and maybe a hook knife to get the bowl part of the spoon. Yeah. And that's all you need. Yeah. That is really all you need to make a spoon.
Yeah. So
and wood is everywhere. It springs from the earth.
Absolutely.
You gather those four things and you can have a spoon.
And you don't need too much space for these things. Like, I think that was the main reason I picked it up at the time. I pictured myself being an older human being sitting on a front porch and going like, okay, now I'm slowing down. How do I continue my mindfulness practice and be present in this world? And I'm like, okay, if I learn how to carve with something so practical and so simply, like these simple tools, simple in some ways, simple not in other ways, but these basic
with like a low skill floor kind of tool. A tool, I think that's what simple means here. Yeah. Like the starting position of the skill of using a knife. You can pick it up and start carving with it. It's not like a complicated tool in that you need to learn a lot to even use it.
100%.
A knife can be used by a seasoned artisan to create beautiful things, and they can do things with it. And we both know people who can do unbelievable things with a knife. But a knife can also be used to create beauty by a child. We both know children who can make incredible stuff.
In fact, making more incredible stuff than I would ever even imagine.
And even beginners, children and adults, like beginners, can use a knife to make something. I still have the first spoon I ever carved out of cottonwood bark, that is, with my first Mora knife. And I give it to my mom, and it sits there, and it looks pretty sweet. You know, it's there's nothing wrong with that. There's so much space.
100%. Yeah. It's that spaciousness, that like skills levels. It's got nothing to do, well, I feel like it's got so much to do with how I am choosing to spend my time. And I've like chosen to use this tool that can be connected with the land, which is meaningful to me, and within it make something. And what I've made is then gifted to someone, and it's just like your spoon that has ended up with your mom is a part of you in some regards. Like,
oh yeah,
I think of that as like a heart gift, which is so wonderful.
Oh, I love giving away gifts of my own creation. It's the best feeling in the world.
It's magical.
I have a windowsill in my apartment. In fact, it is the sill of one of 3 windows that exist in my living space. The other 2 of which are blocked by blackout curtains. But my one windowsill in my kitchen, right above my oven, has all of my heart gifts that I've received on it. And I get to look at it whenever I cook. And it has a couple of spoons.
Aww.
That it has a Davy spoon.
Shout out to Davy.
And it's got a Matt Hamilton spoon.
Shout out to Matt Hamilton.
2 famous carvers.
Amazing.
Amazing carvers, common carvers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love those guys.
They're great. They're great, and they're really good. They offer their skills to others and practice it with like their own style of carving. So that's like, I love that I can learn from others, and that people are willing to sit down and like say, I want to try this too. Mm-hmm. And like, I was gifted a full day from a friend to sit down in his backyard, and he showed me how to use the hatchet. He showed me how to use, it was pretty much showing me how to use the hatchet in a very safe way. And like, he spent his time demoing his own carving block, like spoon blank, and I would just follow and watch his instructions. I learned all the safety around it. A full day of carving, and the most beautiful spoon came out of that.
Oh,
and
yes.
That went over to as a gift. And I think about that day and that gift of learning how to use a tool, and that sparked such intense like curiosity, and that I went back home and I picked up this like learning and kept looking into different resources to continue practicing what I'm doing. And that's it. That spark was brought out because of someone's generosity. And I'm so grateful that, there are people who are willing to like be in that position to say like, hey, this is for everyone. If you choose to step into here and like to carve with me, let me show you. And maybe that's the way.
Was that the genesis of your carving journey?
It absolutely was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about that, and you just got there. That's amazing. Now I need to reset my mind and think of more directions we can take this conversation. Well, I'll just tell you my genesis in carving. I had never carved anything before until I came to Guelph Outdoor School. And I didn't even think about the medium of carving as something that I could even ever do. I just thought it was something that like serious outdoor people and like sculptors, basically, I had it in the same world as a sculptor. I suppose that's kind of true. It's a similar thing to sculpting, but it's different. And then I saw kids playing around with knives at outdoor school. I was afraid. I used to be so afraid of the knives as an instructor, as a leader. Then I became more comfortable with it because it was explained to me, and I got to witness myself that a knife is it's a tool. It's like anything. All kinds of things in this world can be dangerous, and they can also be incredible. I'd say any tool that you can use to make beautiful art, you can also use to do harm, because that's good tools are robust. Even the radio, which I suppose is the medium that we are working in right now. People can put terrible things on the radio. You can put propaganda on the radio. You can put fake news on the radio. Wizard Show or the Passion Show has a no fake news policy. Whenever anything like that comes up, I take my phone out. We Google it right here.
That's
on
awesome.
the air. It's very funny.
That's great.
But yeah, the carving, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's and like I think the way what matters to me is how do I get introduced to things in life by and what sticks for me in these introductions. Why is it that like this is important to me to continue? Because often it's like someone else's passion was like when someone is giving me their passion, it becomes like I've just like gotten a glimpse of what it feels like to feel that excitement.
It's the best feeling in the world.
So it's so cool that you've decided to do a whole radio show on passions, because I think that when I'm able to tap into my passion, this like awesome side of me comes out, like liveliness. Like I'm so alive with what I have and what I'm experimenting doing. And yeah, that was like that day, a huge shout out to Luke Howie. He's an amazing carver.
Luke Howie.
He's awesome. And he just really opened up my eyes and my world in how to approach using a tool, which often even for like a human like me, so often like I did not grow up with tools in my hands. So I was introduced to it like literally into my 20s. So
same.
So isn't that incredible? Like we have this something in us that's like, I'm willing to try this out.
Oh yeah, the spirit of genius. That's what that is.
Well, and like the fear is so valid.
Like
how would I know how to use a tool if I've never even watched those around me use it, like grandparents or anything? That wasn't something that I grew up with. So the introduction piece needs to be, for me, was bridged in a very kind and passionate way.
It's such an important thing to remain open to new skills. So I feel it's easy to just make an assumption about yourself and say, I know what I know and I don't know what I don't know, and I'm an adult now, and that's how it is. But the beginner's mind, that childlike wonderment, is something that needs to be, or that I feel like I need to hold on to forever, because there are just so many experiences in this world. There are so many paths to go down.
Yeah.
And I do not want to limit myself. And you also need the people, the conveyors, the passionate teachers who are willing to work slowly with people and move these skills through the world, like carving. And I hope that I can, I'm always trying to be a better teacher in that way, to find patience. It's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing for everyone. I think I'm a pretty patient person. I'm not the most unpatient. Perhaps not the most patient either. I'm somewhere in the, I'll take that middle ground for patience. That's okay.
Well, to this day, I've been carving for only 10 years or so. And I still have moments when for me, my process with carving is my experience, because I look at it as an art form, my self goes into the moment of what I'm doing. So if a spoon breaks on me or if it cracks or anything of the sort, I've known, like, I've put hours into carving it away, or like getting to know where that it's come from, where I'm putting my time and resources into. And then there's that moment, and it's such a beautiful moment for me because I have a bin of what I call the lost spoons. And it's almost like, to me, they're my proud moments to reflect and go, how patient was I in that moment to tell myself I need to stop, pause, probably take a break from this? Or was I in a good mood? Like, it gets me thinking about the sides of me that I probably should have or could have been reflecting more upon while I was carving this spoon. And it's a side that I actually feel very proud of holding on to, because it's an example of my imperfections. And that
I love that you keep those. We have something we say on the radio, or on the Passion show. Bad art is good art. I've said that. I feel that deeply. It always comes up. You know, those broken spoons, they deserve to stay around because they are good. It is good for, you know, broken art or art that isn't perfect to remain. And I think most of my art is like that.
there's like soul in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's spirit. It's honest. You know, not every, you know, even the best, quote unquote, best artists among us are the artists who achieve their idea or our idea of perfection, you know. They are coming after a whole host of missteps. And no great artist would claim that they started great. But all of those missteps are good because they mean something. They tell the story of the artist. And, you know, keeping those broken spoons is a magical thing. I love that you do that.
Absolutely.
I keep all my broken spoons, all my broken ideas, all my endeavors that never wind up on the radio. They stay on my computer. They get published somewhere. If anyone ever wants to see things like this, just message me. Go to wizard.collective on Instagram. Say, show me something terrible. I swear. I swear to CFRU, to the radio gods, that if you, dear listener, hit me up and ask to see something that I've made that's terrible, that maybe isn't published online, or maybe it's been lost to time, I will send you something. Because I believe in it.
It's so important. I think it's like it's showing a whole side, our whole sides of what we're willing to share with the world or ourselves. Honesty, a layer of like maybe even vulnerability. Like there's
I
lot.
was just thinking that word.
Yeah.
Vulnerability. I love it's one of the most important things for me. A good spoon is a vulnerable spoon. Or even just, it's funny using the word good. I feel like I need to find a new word to describe art. Or like a complete spoon, perhaps.
Yeah, I would use complete, 100%. I have a bunch. So for me, like, I get to shape the spoon, whatever ends up being shaped into. So each spoon has its own identity. And typically what happens is like there's that final stage, which I wonder, I've talked to a few artist friends, and they've reflected like often that last like painting or something, they have this like stuckness with it because I go ahead and add patterns to them, or there's this like last stage of the spoon for me that is putting a final touch, whether it be an artistic like pattern on it, whether it be like cold roasting it, which is like etching into the wood, or trying something completely bold. And that last phase is like not easy. It's like the right time for the right moment, and it often might take a couple of years before I visit that spoon, because then like that the inspiration or the desire to step into that bravery, that vulnerability of going, once I do this is going to really transform this, like bring this being into a liveliness that I know is going to be complete. And it's like maybe the personal, like I'm curious, like is that what everybody goes through, or is that like the process? I really appreciate the process of slowing down within like the carving that I do. because then that puts history, just like as a tree is growing, they keep growing and growing and growing, and at one point, when I've planted them, they're younger than me, and then years later they'll be older than me, and so the process of taking a living being that now is no longer in this living being format, but they're decaying, they're transformed into an afterlife piece, is in my hands. I have this history in my hands. Why would I rush and carve a spoon if I have this opportunity to be mindful of timelessness with them? And then this like completion is almost like, is this okay? Is this the right time? Is this what needs to come? And it's so cool. It's really cool. I had a spoon that was like a yellow birch that was like a piece was shared to me by a friend, and part of it got carved, shaped. Years later, literally 4 years ago, I saw this beautiful cedar frond, like the leaf of the cedar leaf, and I knew that was what needed to be imprinted on this spoon. And I went over to that spoon and etched it, and I just like fell in love, and it just completely transformed it. So completion is an interesting word. Yes.
I like it a lot. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. What does it mean for something to be complete? So complete is a word that we say a lot at Guelph Outdoor School. When we have finished speaking in our circle, we say, "I am complete." And it's funny that we say that because no one's ever complete. Because if we are ourselves works of art, then our completion is impossible. But I do think that it is possible for a work of art that we have created to be complete.
Parts of us, probably.
I suppose. Yeah. Okay. That's something. That's something. I can be complete. I can complete myself on any given day. I can pursue completion.
Like wrapping it up. It's done. This part is done. Or this is.
Oh, I like that. I like that way better. I'm ditching my previous idea. We can absolutely be complete. We can complete things. And it's important. Yes, I like this. This is good. This is like the dream of the passion show. This is a passion show at its best right now. I want my ideas challenged. I want to change my mind live. You're hearing it here.
Here and now.
Here and now. I can be complete. I just thought I would never be complete until I'm dead. No, I can be complete all the time. And I guess I do love releasing things. I love finishing art and being done and finding completion. Can I tell a little anecdote? Maybe it's a big anecdote, but you made me think of something.
Why not? Go for it.
My version of your bucket of dead spoons.
Lost
spoons, not dead. Lost. Then they can be found again. That's what I love about loss. If something is dead, it's maybe gone. But a lost spoon can be found. Here's my little thing like that. I'm a big fan of a format of storytelling called one-word stories. Have you ever heard of this? Basically, you and someone else, and maybe a group of people, you all go around saying a word each in an order to try to attempt to create a story. And it's something that is done as just a fun thing to do, or even a team building activity with young people. But I think that it has seriously untapped artistic potential to create really special narratives. And I like to do this. I have a group at Outdoor School called the Herons. They meet every Saturday. They are ages, I think, 11 through 16. And we take the one-word stories pretty seriously. We only ever do them with 2 people, because if you introduce 3 people, it gets an order of magnitude more complicated. Because our philosophy is that when you're telling a one-word story with someone, you are merging minds. And I promise this is getting back to the original idea, just in a roundabout way. But when you're telling a one-word story with someone, you are each taking a part of your soul, your spirit, your art creation spirit, and joining it with the other person to create a third being, the storyteller. We call it the third creature, or the storyteller when we're talking about this. And the storyteller exists invisibly between you, and it is not me and it's not you. It's a third person, the storyteller, and they tell the story. And they can only exist there as long as you are both allowing yourselves to be present in the storytelling, but also stepping back and letting the other person say their words. I say my word, you say your word. And they are both equally the storyteller. And once you think about that and let yourself embody that attitude about one-word stories, you can tell really amazing one-word stories. Because you're giving, you're giving ideas, you're saying words, but you're also stepping back. And you're letting your partner contribute creative energy. And we do this at our Herons program. And whenever a story, and it's hard. It is a genuine meditation to do this and to have it work out. And whenever a story gets off the tracks, and you always know, everyone always knows when a story is off the tracks. Because it gets too random or gets boring, or, I can't even describe a lost story. You just know when it happens. We always say, it's gone. We lost it. The spirit flew away, and then we just cut it. It's done. It's a lost story. And we try and find stories that can get to the end. And everyone always celebrates when we get to the end of the story. We high five. We jump up and down. Because it feels good to find a story like this through to completion. But even those lost stories are complete in their own way, because they represent a failure to connect. But they also represent, me and so-and-so's journey to complete a story. And we used to have a young fellow at Herons who would scribe. He was a really quick writer, and he would scribe these stories down. And a lot of the funniest ones, the ones that we all remember the best, are ones that were lost. And so even those lost stories, those lost narratives, have some kind of have a lot of meaning. So
100%.
That's my little sidebar. You and I should try and make a one-word story here on the Passion Show.
Oh boy!
At some point, maybe at the end.
Okay. Yeah, that made me wonder. It's almost coming back to that internal, external lifestyle that the subconscious, conscious levels of my way of living, and as humans, how we are on this world varies, but that lost. There's sometimes whatever our pathway is, in our career or whatever we're choosing to do next in our developmental stages of growth, there is a moment where I might get lost in my path. And then I need to retrace and start again, but continue from that one spot that kind of veered. And so that story, I will remember that lost. When I went, I veered off, but that informs a lot of what I do moving forward. So it's a part of that's back to I think about the process of the carving. If I were to think about that with carving the spoons and completion, parts of the cuts that may have changed the shape of the spoon is also working with what pieces maybe I thought it could have looked like, but suddenly it's not looking that way
And then you say, this is what it is now.
This is what it is. And then thinking about it, and then when that's and this act of reciprocity is so beautiful because it's not just one. I really like how you describe that, between two people that's creating a third, almost creating the story. It's almost made me think about, again, it's the life of this tree or this living being that is now passed on to me. And the third story about it is it's now, in this context, a spoon, which is used and utilized by many people. It's now a story in and of itself that was created in collaboration with a living being, two different, a human and a tree in some capacity, or a shrub. Synthesis.
Wow.
It's pretty sweet.
I like this. This is such an interesting thing. I like to think that I'm always in conversation with the radio to discover what the Passion Show is. The Passion Show has already changed a lot. And we're only on episode 8.
Whoa!
Yeah, or something like that. I don't know what episode this is. We had a pilot. We had a bonus episode, the live special bonus episode. But it's a young thing, and people are always asking me what I am going to do with this show in the future. I say always, and I say people. I mean, my friends are sometimes asking me, what form does this take? Where does this go? Do I attempt to have it more widely heard? Do I clip interesting little bits and put them on the internet? And I always tell them, I don't know. I'll find out. I'm going to find out what the show is. I'm in conversation with this medium. I don't know what the future holds for it. I will find out what the future holds for it. Just like any other thing I'm trying to create, I discover it while I'm making it. All of my artistic endeavors are similar like that. They are archaeology.
Yeah, that makes me wonder, why did you pick the word passion? What does passion mean to you?
Oh, you flipped the script. You're interviewing me. I love that. Well, there's a short story and a medium-length story about why I picked the word passion. Short story is at Guelph Outdoor School, we sometimes do a little talent show at the end of a week. Or supposedly in the old days, they would do this at summer or at the winter solstice gathering. And it's like a talent show, but you're showing off what you're passionate about. So they'd call it the Passion Show. And I just thought that was a really gripping name for this idea of this show, which I've had for a long time. But, and then I heard that. It also kind of sounds like fashion show, which I think is funny. So that's the short story of why it's called the Passion Show. But the longer, or I suppose the more medium length story, or maybe even shorter one, because I'm not sure exactly the other reason, is the answer to the question, why does the concept of passion appeal to me? Right? I don't know. I've always been interested in hearing people tell me about the things they care about. I love being talked to, and I enjoy asking questions, and I enjoy being part of the conversation. But the part of it that I really dig is finding out things, being told things, finding out about myself while I'm hearing things. And I want to see people in their vulnerability. I want to see people excited. It excites me. And I don't think that makes me like an empath. I think it's just the truth. It's just how I am. And I think I just want to put a fine point on that, That's sort of, I feel, the end goal of any interview or many interviews is get the exciting, the red, bloody interest out of someone, the idea of a person, expose it. That's what the passion, that's the medium length answer. But man, if that's the medium length answer, what is the long answer? Maybe oh God.
The double bonus show?
The double bonus show will just be me. One day, I do want to do an alone episode of the Passion Show. I think it'd be very funny to do a bonus episode. I just come in here and yap into this microphone for a whole hour without anyone to bounce off of and just try and explain myself.
That'd be pretty sweet. My other thought
I think it would be like an uncrackable nut of an episode to listen to. I think only the most dedicated wizard heads in the Wizard Nation would be able to make it even 10 minutes into that. But I want that to exist. I don't care if it's not popular. I want it to exist someday.
Well, I would challenge that and say maybe, perhaps after a number of episodes, all the people who have been part of this Passion Show who, again, it's such an honor to be asked to share a passion. And we come and interview you. Like, all of us ask a question just to see how deep we can go with your
Wow.
concept.
Maybe
of
that's the Passion Show live.
Whoa,
That's the live show.
That'd be sweet.
That's the Passion Show on ice.
Whoa, will we break him?
Break him. Breaking Wizard. Breaking his mind with our powerful questions.
I mean, he does have a lot of magic, so.
I mean, I don't know about that. It's just a name. Well, I don't know. The wizard name implies a lot of things. I suppose I cannot run away from the fact that it does imply that I am magical. No matter how hard I try to escape that fact. That people will always assume I know magic tricks. I don't.
You don't?
I don't know. I know
That's
this is the best
disappointing.
magic trick I can do.
Ooh.
I wish that, see, this is why I wish people could see my face. Because I'm doing the thing where you interlock your hands together and wiggle your middle fingers in it. I wonder, some people might be able to figure out what I'm talking about. Common little party trick. That's, see, magic doesn't work over the radio. I wonder if there are any like audio magic tricks I could perform.
Ooh. If nobody could, obviously this is a radio show, so nobody saw that, but that was magic right there.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And I think that you are creating magic. I will be that person who, he's doing another magic trick. There we go.
I'm taking my thumb off. Wow.
I've seen kids try practicing that one.
It's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one. I tried to do that with some of the kids the other day, and they were correcting me because I couldn't do that trick where it's like your part of your thumb gets removed.
I can't really do it either. You just saw a pretty terrible version of it. But that just goes to the point that the wizard name, you know, what it implies, who knows? I've been trying to figure that out for the better part of a decade.
Well, I think that would be part of the Q&A as well. As if I were here, I'd be like, yes, now I know. I'm going to go deeper with questions of passion and wizard, 2 topics that can really bring out a lot.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I'd be so down. Yeah. Passion. Projects. You know, more authentic stuff, I think, right? Like, who has been on this show so far? What kind of passions have we heard?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me tell you. The first guest was Chicho, or as you know him, Mark.
Yes.
Mark Spagnuolo, fungi, you know, man with many names. And he spoke about his passion for playing music live and what live music can do to bring people together. That was a fun one. We were still figuring out the format, and we recorded it months ago before it even went to air. It was just a pilot. And then on the second episode, we had Simon from Outdoor School, who you probably remember. Mm-hmm. Simon was passionate about the rapper MF Doom. Are you familiar?
No, I am not.
Oh, he's an incredible performer. He died a few years ago. Rest in peace, all caps when you spell the name. And that was a really good one. He brought in vinyl records just to show me.
Whoa.
Because it's a radio show. And the people at home, they could not see the vinyls, but I could. And that was a lot of fun for me.
And it's a fact. Like, you saw them.
Exactly. I saw them with my eyes. That is forever true. And the third guest was David Cadigan Blackwood, who was at GOS this summer as well. He is a high school guy, which is great. Very fun to have that perspective. And he talked about like performing and music and theater. And that was a really fun one. He has a lot of bright energy. I really like that guy. I like everyone who's on this show. And then after that, the one that just aired as of recording, I had Rachel on the show.
Hey, Rachel.
We love Rachel. And Rachel talked about the art of witnessing movies. Isn't that funny? She talked about, this is like a little mid-season recap for the people at home. This hopefully is exciting people enough to go to the archives and listen to the old episodes if they missed them. But yeah, Rachel talked about she likes to watch triple features. She'll watch 3 movies in one day with her family. Just crazy.
That's amazing.
She told me all about that and her family and about going to the movie theater in real life and how to be a good movie theater goer. You know, how to not be annoying with your popcorn and etc. And then there are 2 unaired episodes right now as of recording. They are a young fellow named Awan. He is 10 years old. He is my programming student. You may have met him this summer. Or he has a little brother named Dua as well. No?
Familiar names.
They're the best.
I'm wondering about Face to the Name. That's where I'm at right now.
I'll show you their picture afterwards.
Sweet.
But that episode was phenomenal. He is passionate about tech law, like European tech law, and geography.
Holy,
isn't that cool?
That's incredible.
And we were just yapping about all that stuff. It was amazing.
Wow.
And then I have the only person who isn't connected to me by Guelph Outdoor School. I have my friend Brandon McIntosh, lead singer of Czech Hotel, which is sort of like a Midwest emo band from London, Ontario. Or they've dabbled in all kinds of genres, but that's where they're at now. And he is my best friend from high school. We go way back. Or one of my many best friends from high school. I love all my high school friends, and they're all welcome on the show one day if you're listening, fellas. But Brandon and I talked about music scenes. He really loves his local scene in London. That was a really fun episode. And we had lots of little giggles about references that are completely esoteric and impossible to parse as a non-us listener, which I do think is fun. I think that is one of the oddities of this show that I'm okay with.
That's amazing.
It doesn't always need to scan for the listeners. It can just be, things can just be unexplained.
So there's been quite a diversity, actually, of like really, really cool inputs of ways of looking at this world.
Oh, yeah.
And sides of, so I know most of these people, not all, but most of these people, I'm like, oh, I had no idea that that's part of their passion. That's so sweet. It's just added a new layer of like respect for who they are and what they offer to this world. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
That's another fun part of the show. I want to let people like expose their interesting, less perceived sides, their edges. Mm-hmm. Like I really, and I often, when people are asking me about this, because lots of people ask, like, what do you mean passion? Like, I don't know what I'm passionate about. I'm not passionate about anything. And I go, yeah, don't say that, like, I think people think it's supposed to be like a vocation show. Like you're supposed to come on here and talk about what you study or what you do as a job. It's like, no, I know people have all kinds of cool little interests. Like, just any, you really like a certain kind of music or there's some specific kind of like, you really like YouTube videos about resin or whatever,
Yeah, and it probably, like, what an opening, like an opportunity to think about passion and probably not over, like, emphasizing it needs to be something specifically, like, special. It's probably something that organically lives in us. That
exactly.
Over time, at the right time, maybe over the years, it's just become more and more of a practice or more of an interest. And then, like, I go, like, oh my gosh, this is my passion. Like, listen to the way I wake up around, like, this conversation, this topic. Or, like, who knew that I can make such a niche conversation around movies and, like, what I like. That's so sweet.
Exactly. And a lot of the time, the people I talk to about this who claim that they're not passionate about anything, I know they're the most passionate people. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell them, like, what do you mean? I've seen the way you talk about herbs, I've seen the way you talk about cooking, like, and hopefully those people will get on the show one day.
And it's giving permission, almost like, hey, like, let's talk about this. It's actually very cool. Like I love information. I think gathering information, like I really appreciate that this is like an opening as like in general, like to have a radio show like this.
Open source passion.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about.
Like now I'm getting informed. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, and you
I
can
gotta
go listen to
watch
some
all-
of these. And you'll be like,
Who cares about spoons? Let's go listen to all the other
no,
things I
just
can
listen
learn.
to this while you're carving spoons.
This is so true. That's the other beauty about the carving the spoons.
Mm-hmm.
I could do it in any format.
It's true.
Literally outside, inside, in front of listening with my ears while I'm doing something with my hands. And that's it.
It's too bad. If I had known, you could have brought a blank in here. You could have been carving a spoon.
I should have,
Maybe when I get one of the other carvers on, they can do that.
Sweet.
And then it'll be connected.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time, Annie.
Oh.
But we have about 2 minutes. I'd say that's time enough for us to make a short one-word story and for us to share what we're grateful for, which is how we end the show.
Okay.
But first, a short one-word story. Punctuation doesn't count.
Okay.
That's the only rule you need to know. And, if we get to the end of the story, we'll say the end and we'll high five. And if the story gets lost, it gets lost. That's how it goes.
Beautiful.
Now, would you like to start?
And it's just like one word, correct?
Yeah, just one word back and
Back
forth.
and forth. Okay.
Take it away.
Once
There,
was
a
large,
flower,
bigger,
then
any,
moons,
and
it,
was
happy, period.
I
Climbed,
a
leaf,
bigger than bigger
then
the
stars,
and
the
moons.
period.
What?
Is
Going?
on.
How
Lucky
are
we,
this
beautiful,
and
glorious, fantastical
way
of
living
we
can
see
a
new,
world?
period.
I'm
Complete, period. What a story. And now, with just 20 seconds on the clock, I always do this. What is one word that you're grateful for? One word gratitude.
spoons.
And community.
Yeah.
Look at us. I've been Wizard.
And I'm Annie
Thank you for listening.
to this amazing passion show.
Over and out. Bye.
Bye.